Not every film can be Citizen Kane, but even critics have claimed that it was shit in its day. Some films are shit and shit they will stay, but some get better over time because of Nicolas Cage. So which film stays shit forever? And which one's got a little bit better? Second chance movies. No poor bloods were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Welcome to Second Chance Movies, the podcast where we rewatch movies and decide if they deserve a second chance.
I'm Joe Harper, your host who loves rewatching movies and loves following the rules and obeying laws.
Good for you, Joe. And I'm Jessica Quaz, your host who's a one and done kind of movie viewer who is a murderino, a crime junkie, and watches way too much Dateline. And today we are giving a second chance to Double Jeopardy.
Wow. Way out of left field here with Double Jeopardy.
Truly a random pick, yes.
I mean, the reason we have picked Double Jeopardy is because this has I don't want to say a spot in my heart, but it's definitely a big story for the Harper family.
Okay.
So I asked if we could give this one a second chance because years ago, when DVDs were like becoming a thing in the early 2000s, my parents for Christmas each bought each other a copy of Double Jeopardy, not knowing the other one had bought it for each other, and that was their Christmas present. And I thought, first of all, that was insane because I've never heard either one of them talk about Double Jeopardy. And then the fact that they were both giving it to each other, I've heard you guys talk about other movies, never this. So what is with this? And every Christmas or so, one would give the other one the copy of that movie, and or we'd be at like Target or Walmart and see that movie and then, oh, Double Jeopardy, we love this movie. You guys already bought a copy of that. No, we didn't. You most certainly did. No, I'm pretty sure we didn't. Let's just get it just to be safe. And so they own about 6 copies of Double Jeopardy.
What?
Yeah. I don't understand it. I'm a huge movie person that like buys a lot of movies. I have a large collection. I have never bought Double Jeopardy. I know where like 5 free available ones are.
Have you accidentally bought the same movie multiple times like your parents?
I have not. So I've only accidentally bought a movie twice, but it was because I clicked on the Amazon cart quantity 2 instead of 1, but then I gifted it to you. So that was the only time I've done that. I've never bought a movie that I have bought previously. I have repurchased a movie because they've thrown it out before.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, or actually, no, I never bought it. People kept giving, because my name is Joe, people kept in high school or junior high, he was definitely junior high, kept giving me copies of Joe Dirt.
Wow.
Like, I got a VHS copy. My parents were like, this movie's terrible, and threw it in the trash. And hey, that's not yours. And friends kept giving it to me. I didn't request this movie. It wasn't, I think it's silly. It's not terrible, but it's not like the best, but it doesn't deserve trash. Like it doesn't deserve to be put in the dumpster. And they threw it away multiple times, and I kept getting copies. I've never once purchased Joe Dirt. It's always been gifted to me.
Wow. Okay. I love that your parents bought multiple copies of Double Jeopardy and yet threw out multiple copies of Joe Dirt.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Double Jeopardy today.
So, all right. What is Double Jeopardy, Joe?
Well, before I tell you what Double Jeopardy is, spoiler warning, we're going to be talking about a movie made in 1999. So we're going to be talking in depth about it. So spoilers be warned. I will say, if you know what Double Jeopardy means, I think you know how it's going to end. So Double Jeopardy, as IMDb likes to describe it, a woman framed for her husband's murder suspects he is still alive. As she has already been tried for the crime, she can't be re-prosecuted if she finds and kills him.
Yeah, I mean that's that's literally it. That's what happens.
I feel like you're trying to give away too many things in the description.
Yeah. I think you could have ended it with just like a woman maybe framed for her husband's murder, but suspects he's alive.
Well, she's not maybe. She is definitely framed.
She's definitely framed. We know that as the audience, but like no one else in the movie believes it.
And she's trying to figure out, where is he?
Where is he? Where is he? I'm gonna kill him and get his child back. So yeah, I would like for the summary cut it off at like woman framed for murder believes her husband's still alive.
Yeah.
Bam. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Because the title alone, it's like, yeah, I get it. I know.
Well, hey, we can get into that. So, how would you describe this movie to people?
I would describe this movie as a very 90s movie about very inaccurate criminal justice with Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones running around.
Yeah, it does feel like somebody heard the term double jeopardy and then like doesn't know. It was definitely not written by a lawyer.
No.
But like was like really interested in this theory. But again, it's a movie, so I guess let's let fantasy go on and we gotta just believe this world that's created. But this world is set in reality, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get behind some things we'll talk about.
The way I describe this movie, I mean, I kind of just told everyone, but my parents own at least 6 copies of this movie. They're like, well, what's it about? You know what? It doesn't matter. They own 6 copies. It must be good.
What a past you have with this movie.
Yeah. And I feel like I had to have watched at least one of those copies. Yeah. So we'll get into that. So my first time was probably with one of those 6 copies.
Right.
I think I saw it once and I was like, okay, yep. I knew how this was going to end. Thanks, movie. You parents way overhyped this movie.
6 copies. I mean, yeah, that sounds like gold. So this was my first time viewing the movie. I'd heard of it. I knew Ashley Judd was in it. I knew what Double Jeopardy was. So for those of you who don't know, we'll just say it now. Double Jeopardy is basically where you can't be tried for the same crime twice. So if you're found, not guilty of the crime, they can't keep coming after you. But like the movie takes it as like a big blanket, like,
or if you're guilty, serve your time.
Yeah,
you can't be tried for that crime again.
Right. So it's basically like you can't be tried for the same crime more than once.
Especially, you can't murder your husband twice. He's dead once.
Yes.
He can't be murdered again.
But he can be.
Yeah.
Turns out. So yeah, this was my first time and it was a wild ride. Truly a wild ride.
Okay. That's good enough until we get into our second chance. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's just all I have to say right now.
Well, I'd like to hear what other people said when they first saw it.
Is it time for some reviews?
Of course it's time for reviews.
So
you love reviews.
I love reviews. Do you have reviews for me?
I sure do.
All right.
Jessica, I've got reviews for you.
What a gift.
This was tough for me because I had to give both positive and negative. And with that, let me just tell you what the tomato meter score was.
Okay. Yeah. What is it?
Tomato meter score for the critics was 27%.
Ooh.
Pretty low. It hasn't been the lowest thing we've reviewed, but it's there. It's definitely bottom 5.
Yeah.
Audience score 61. So like it was watchable. It wasn't the best, but it was watchable.
I mean, that's quite a difference. 27 to 60 something.
It's a large,
big margin. Yeah.
Critics and audiences did not see eye to eye when watching this movie. Da-da-da. All right. So, what would you like to hear first? Positive or negative?
Let's get into some positive.
Yeah, let's start off strong with some nice
Good
things to
energy.
say.
Yeah.
Karen Kimmery of Decider. Sit back, relax, and marvel at the wonder that is Ashley Judd.
Strong feelings
Ooh,
from Miss
yeah.
Judd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent with Ashley Judd. I think she's good, not great, doesn't wow me, but you know what? I don't mind her in movies. Put her in them.
I like her. I think she has like this charisma and uniqueness. I just like her. I also think she's just gorgeous, like just naturally a gorgeous human being.
That's what makes the best actor.
Just being pretty and
yeah.
And people can look at you.
Yeah.
It's a visual medium. That's why we're podcasters.
Whoa. We're both pretty handsome.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Hello.
Liz Braun, jam movies.
Ooh.
Thanks to the unnecessarily fun performances from Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones, what should be a piece of throwaway entertainment proves to be a keeper.
Okay, sure. I mean,
it doesn't feel like the compliment is really like sinking in.
No, it's sort of like, wow, this should have been trash, but like, okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Ernest Hardy of film.com, a fast-moving, entertaining bit of silliness that's wrapped around a semi-interesting premise and a taut performance by Judd. Man, everyone is loving on Judd.
Everyone's loving on Judd. Yeah, it's like, I wouldn't say it's like fast-paced in like kind of a dumb way. It's fast-paced and like, whoa, we're doing a lot in the first 20 minutes. Like, whoa.
Oh man, I wish that was on the poster. Fast-paced in a dumb way.
Cause like
I'm in.
I'm in. Hey, we get a lot like right away. Like things are happening, and like we get like almost like a big reveal in the first like 23 minutes. It's like, oh my god, like how did we get here? Not like fast-paced in like a fun action kind of way, and more like a, oh my god, calm down the plot. Like I can't with this.
Steve Rhodes, Internet Reviews.
Oh.
As a comedy with a couple of likable leads, the movie delivers. So
is this
I didn't pick up that it was a comedy. I think this has got to be a generational thing, because my parents, no matter what Tommy Lee Jones is in, think he's hilarious. And yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is a good actor and can deliver some funny lines, but just like, I feel like he's very much the same character in a lot of movies. And everything he says, it's so funny.
That's super weird. Yeah. I think his like demeanor works in things like Men in Black, where it's goofy and then he's like very like straight faced.
He's very straight faced, yeah.
But like this, I didn't chuckle.
He's got that like Tommy Lee Jones sarcasm.
Yeah, he has a very particular vibe.
There are definitely a line or two I think are funny, but the movie is not a comedy at all.
I didn't think it was classified as one, but someone thought it was hilarious.
It's definitely like a thriller.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely like thriller, not comedy. But I guess someone finds murder hilarious.
All right, let's hear some negative reviews.
All right, what are the people saying bad things about?
Dragon and Tulov of Drax Blog Movie Reviews. Mm-hmm. The way the screenwriters treat the law is in many ways similar to the way they treat intelligence to the viewers.
Yeah.
Sick burn, bro.
Yeah, sick burn. You're right. They did not consult any lawyers. Like they just were like, sure, yeah, this is how white people criminal justice works, right? Sure. Yeah, I guess.
Martin Scribbs of Low IQ Canadian. Martin Scribbs, Low IQ Canadian. Double Jeopardy has all the legal savvy of the O.J. Simpson jury.
That's good. That's a good review, man. Good job, Martin.
Christopher Knoll, filmcritic.com. This isn't Double Jeopardy. It's $100 warm-up question.
What does that mean?
Oh, Jeopardy! Because like the game show.
Oh.
It wasn't very clever, Christopher.
No, Christopher. I see the attempt. Could polish it up a little more.
Yeah.
If we're reviewing reviews.
If we're critiquing his review, it should have been $100 warm-up question. Is this Double Jeopardy?
There you go. I understand that way more. Yeah.
That's how the game show Jeopardy works.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. I got really aggressive. Yeah. Christopher, drawing the line in the sand. We're enemies now. Andrew O'Hare of Salon.com. This movie should be exhumed and executed again.
Whoa. Murder jokes.
I don't know if that means execute like with a gun or execute like make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded dark to me because exhume is not a happy term.
Andrew Johnson Ott of Nouveau Newsweekly. I suggest you simply watch the commercial and save 105 minutes of your life. Edward, spot on. I like that review.
I haven't seen the commercial, but I'm gonna assume it tells you what you need to know.
I mean, I'm sure I saw it like in 1999, but nope, I do not remember it. All right, well, those are some reviews. That's what other people thought of this movie. Now, because this was your first time, it's my technically second, but because it's been, I think, 20 years, I don't remember any of it. It felt like a brand new movie to me.
Okay.
And I've had that bias of, you own 6 copies of this movie. I don't like this. Yeah, so it felt like a whole new movie. So I'm glad I was able to open my perspective and watch it with a biased opinion. But I was still able to just view it.
Give it a second chance as an adult.
Give it a second chance.
Your parents' influence.
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones is so good. That Ashley Judd, man, her career is going places.
Oh no. Oh no. Weinstein. Okay,
so let's not talk about that first. That's such a damper on this.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It really kills the vibe.
What did you think about this movie, Jessica?
Oh, okay.
What did you like about this movie? Let's start off with that.
Let's start off with that because there's I have a lot of thoughts. So one thing I did like is the concept. I like a good thriller. I like a good 90s thriller. 90s thrillers have a vibe that I'm into.
Almost also the like murder mystery kind of aspect.
Exactly. Yeah, I like the murder mystery aspect. I like the idea of seeking revenge and doing something when nobody's on your side and no one believes you. Like, that's horrifying. Like, could you imagine like being framed for murder and no one believes you? Like, that's awful.
So to set everyone up very clearly for those who have not seen the 1999 comedy Double Jeopardy, Ashley Judd is on a boat with her husband. When she wakes up, there's blood all over the boat, and she's framed for his murder. While she has to go to prison, her like best friend looks after the kid, and then through like phone calls, she kind of figures out husband, I think, is still alive. And so she is a good prisoner, does a good time. Because she gets released early. That's why I'm saying that.
Right. Which we'll get into. She gets released
early. Once she gets released, she goes to a halfway house with her parole officer, Tommy Lee Jones, and she escapes from him. The whole movie is the majority of the movie is her trying to track down her husband, and Tommy Lee Jones tracking Ashley Judd down. That is our movie.
That's our movie. So like right off the bat, I knew something was up, because the way in which we establish like their marriage and the family and their kid and this best friend of hers.
This doesn't sound like a direction of what you liked.
Oh,
about this
sorry,
movie.
sorry. I forget that that's what we're going. I forgot. Sorry. Okay, so what I like.
What do you like about this
what
movie?
I liked. The concept's pretty cool. The idea that like someone has framed you for murder and they're alive and you can get yours and like fucking murder them, go after them, get your revenge. I like that. I like that idea. I think there was something kind of there. There was an idea there.
My favorite part of this
out.
movie, is her tracking him down. Because it's like the detective thing. She gets a clue, dives into that clue, learns something else, and keeps like following the breadcrumbs. And I really think that's interesting. And this movie does this very well of like dropping a clue that the audience is like, oh, that's familiar. I recognize that as well. That leads her to the next one. And so like her, like even like going to find like a painting and like going through 90s internet was insane. To track somebody down.
Insane. I loved it.
What a time capsule this is. But then Tommy Lee Jones is also on the trail of her, following very similar clues, and he's also getting the idea of like she may be telling the truth along the way because all these things keep leading are correct.
Right.
So I like that element as well. So that's what the movie has going for it, and I really enjoy those things.
I agree. I really like how she finds her way to her fake death husband. There's some really, really cool moments of her getting information. Like for one, at one point she goes in pretending like she's gonna buy a car, and it's very 90s because like you just watch this and are like, wow, this is not how you would get information nowadays. But she's like, she has her best friend who is with her dead husband. She has
ultimately she's just trying to get her kid back.
Yeah, she's just trying to get her kid back.
And also probably kill the husband.
Yeah, because she supposedly can with double jeopardy.
But she knows because she called the best friend like, hey, from prison, where have you been? Like, why can't I talk to my son? Why have you been dodging me? Then she hears dead hubby's voice in the phone call. That's why she's led to believe on the track of, I need to investigate if I can find her, because they probably switched names.
Right.
They're probably a new alias, and that's what she's at the car dealership for.
Because it's the fucking 90s, and it turns out not all that long ago, you could like get away with a bunch of identity crimes. Who knew? So there's one part where she obtained the best friend's social security number and goes into a car dealership pretending like she's going to finance a car, pretending like she's the friend, because again, you could fucking do that in the 90s, and is like, yeah, I think I'm going to finance this car. Here's my social security number. Could you just like verify all the information? Like, I just want to make sure you have my correct information. And the guy who's working at the car dealership gives her an address. Like, okay, so you live at this blah, blah, blah street in Colorado. And she's like, sure do, thank you. And then just like walks out of the car dealership. And she's like, never mind, I don't want the car. Like, that's a fun way to get information. I enjoyed like stuff like that. So yeah, you're right. The breadcrumbs were really cool, especially in the 90s when you could get away with so much. Like,
yeah, especially like today, you just find some hacker. This is how I think a movie today would just do it.
Right.
I've got all of Jessica's information. What do you want to know? We've got her height, weight, hair color, date of birth, what car she drives, what her favorite movie was, what she ate yesterday, whatever you want to know, man.
Yeah, truly. It's wild. And at some point, Ashley Judd is on the lam because she violated her parole. She gets on an airplane. She's on a fucking airplane. Like a wanted woman from the law is able to fly. The 90s were wild.
With somebody else's information.
Yeah. Like, what a time to be alive.
Well,
and I was, but I missed all of this.
It's just also pre 9/11 where you could
Yeah.
do anything at the airport.
You could do
So
anything at the airport. It's so wild. So that I actually really enjoy just watching like 90s crimes, like just getting away with so much. Because
Yeah.
it's not that long ago, but it's also like a completely different world. You could just do fucking anything, apparently.
oh man. So another thing I enjoy about this movie is that it's set in New Orleans for like the last third, which is kind of fun.
Yes. I
So,
was so pumped by that.
fun Joe Jessica history lesson for my wife's 30th birthday party. I apologize for letting everyone know how old you are, at least how old you are. For her 30th, because she's a chef, she wanted to go to New Orleans, eat some good food, and invite, the best friends and family. That way our parents could meet and stuff before the proposal happened and became the wife. But yeah, Jessica got to go on that trip.
Yes, my boyfriend and I came along, and honestly, it was one of my favorite trips. It was my first time going to New Orleans, never had
Same.
been, and
I lived in Texas. I was
yeah,
within
you were
driving
right there.
distance.
You were
That was
right
my
there.
first time.
I loved that trip so much, and we ate like the best food of my life that I still think about, and like just the city's fun and like just great vibes. We were there during Mardi Gras season 2, so it was like wonderful. Fun fact, the last day that we were there, you guys flew out earlier than us, and Carson and I had a later flight, so we had like all day just to fuck around, and we toured the cemetery that's in the movie.
We knew it. When we saw the cemetery scene, I was like, why didn't we go there? That looks fun. And she's like, I don't like scary things. She's like, I think we didn't go because it was haunted, but I think Jessica went, and I was like, she probably did.
I definitely
turns out
did.
you did. Yeah.
I definitely went to that specific one, and so it was like cool.
The city itself is just gorgeous. I like all the architectures that they have there. Walking everywhere is fun. Drinking outside is always so fun. So what a great city. And the food. The food
is incredible. I just think it's such a unique city. It truly is so different from anywhere else in this country, and I like having it as a background for movies and TV, because you're right, it's like just such a unique look with their architecture and vibe.
And we don't get it that often.
No, we don't. We need it more, because it's just such a fucking cool place. So yeah, I really liked that. And I liked too that like the mystery, the getting to her husband, her child, like this intense sort of plot is unfolding with the background of like fun New Orleans. Like it's just interesting sort of juxtaposition of like the New Orleans vibe and like murder thriller vibe.
I think they could have explored New Orleans a bit more. But I mean, I was just excited to see it in there.
Yeah.
And that ends the things of what I liked.
I have one more that I like.
Yeah. The rest of me talking about it is just going to be pointing out its flaws.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of those.
And also maybe suggesting how I would improve it or what I would like about it.
Because like the concept's cool. There could have been good ideas happening, and so I would make changes. But anyway,
what else do you like?
I really like Ashley Judd. I do. I don't really know like why. There's just something about her I enjoy watching, and I don't like watch her enough. Like I don't watch her consistently. So whenever I do, especially like in that era, I'm just like, I like her. I just really like her. And I think she's just stunning too, like just naturally beautiful to look at.
I mean, I think all three people are cast well. This movie really only has 3 leads.
Yeah.
Like there are some very minor supporting characters. We have 3 leads. Ashley Judd as Libby, our woman framed for murder. Tommy Lee Jones, who plays parole officer Travis. And we have Bruce Greenwood as Nick. And if you don't recognize that name, it is the captain in Star Trek with Jessica's favorite Chris
Pine. He's the guy. It's like you might not know his name, but you know his face for sure.
Yeah.
He's like in everything.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, I think those three are well cast for what they're having to do. And I think I like watching her go on this journey because she starts off almost just like as this like privileged, sort of naive-ish housewife, and then goes from that to like fucking detective to I'm gonna fucking get my child back at any cost. So it's like this really interesting arc that I liked watching her play. Yeah, I just enjoyed watching her do it kind of a little bit of everything. And I will say, like, there is definite issues with like the script and the character that's like I think she did her best with. Like she still did her best. There are just times where it was like that could have been a little different. Like she doesn't seem distraught at the circumstances initially. She's like, I don't know, I didn't kill my husband. This is really weird. And it's like, I don't like if I woke up and my boyfriend's blood was all over the place and I couldn't find him and now I'm being framed for his murder, I would be losing my mind and like so distraught. And she's just kind of like, yeah, guys, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Your fingerprints are on the murder weapon. Oh, I touched that immediately when I saw it.
Yeah. She holds the knife and is like, what is this? This is weird. It's, girl.
Make sure I have my DNA all over it.
Like, girl, like, oh man. So like the first like 20 to 30 minutes, the character is not doing like what I would find to be the proper things in the situation.
Nobody does the proper thing on anything in this movie. Which character should I rant about?
Well, since we're on the topic, go off on Ashley Judd's character. What do you think about like how she handled it all? Okay,
so first of all, one of the first things, she's like sitting with her husband while he's gifting her a boat. He's like, I've got a surprise. We've got something we want to tell you, sweetheart. And right from the bat, Megan and I both thought, these two are a couple. How do you not see that instantly?
That literally is my first note. Is the sister and the husband banging? Because I thought that was her sister.
I don't think it's a sister. I think
not
it's
her sister. But she was so like just around and like integrated in the family that I thought it was her sister. Similar. They look similar. She's constantly taking care of Ashley Judd's child, which like if I had a child and my best friend was like that involved in my kid's life, I would be like, we're done. You need to get away from my family. I thought it was a sister.
It's very obvious that it seemed like that they were going to be a thing.
Oh yeah, right away.
Husband, gives her a boat. They go on a boat. She's really into boats.
She loves boats.
So wakes up covered in blood, is very confused about everything. Her first instinct is, let me touch this bloody knife.
Girl.
Cops show up so perfectly, like, oh man, get on the ground. Like, what? That was too. How did you guys know?
Yeah, that was weird. Like, because she is holding the knife on the deck, and then the like boat cops are right there.
Whatever. That's anyway. Suspicion number one, that something's up.
Mm-hmm.
Arrived right on time. When I don't know why her like friend is telling her like, hey, you're about to get arrested. Like, what? Wouldn't the cops just show up and arrest you? I don't know. That's weird.
Privilege, white privilege.
Okay, I guess I've never been arrested. I follow the rules, so I wouldn't know.
I've never been arrested either, and I don't follow the rules. But I've never like done crimes,
Okay, you say so.
I've never done violent crimes.
While she's in prison, she does learn. She learns that husband might be there. I almost wish the movie had like not. I don't know if I want the movie to tell us that he's alive or not.
Yeah,
letting us know he's alive lets us know right off the bat, because we already knew that she did. Like, it was weird that she got arrested. We should already believe her, but now we the audience know. Yep, she's very innocent. She's got to go find him. I hate in prison that there's some prison friend that's like, hey, have you ever heard of double Jeopardy? So if you killed your husband, but you're innocent, and you find out he's alive, you can kill him because they can't charge you twice for that same crime. I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, why wouldn't I look it up now? I've got a cell phone and internet that works
Right?
in 2021. While it is true that the U.S. Constitution forbids a person for being tried for the same crime more than once, being tried for a crime does not give the person license to then go and commit that crime. Also, murder is not the only crime she could have been charged with. Others would include carrying a concealed weapon, stalking, manslaughter. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's not
not
an
like
easy pass to kill.
no. Okay, so I need to sidebar this because, like I said, I am a murderino, a crime junkie, and I watch way too much Dayline. I love Dayline. Keith Morrison is my man. I'm no lawyer, and I don't play one on TV, and I'll never be one, and that's fine. But just like generally, I know some stuff about criminal justice because we have phones and computers, like you said. So watching it now, it's like, okay, technically there's different degrees of murder. So like, what was her, if she's charged with murder on the boat, it could have been like murder in the second degree, which is like they can't prove that you like planned it out. Murder in the first degree is like you have intent, you have a motive, you planned it. So it's like,
though I think the way they phrased it was an accidental death, or it was
like
maybe
accidental
not accidental
homicide. Yeah, it's like, so
It was-
technically she could actually be charged with the
Oh no, it was
accident-
like mysterious circumstance or something. Like it was, they can't prove it, but like you did it,
right. So
which
but
didn't make much sense at all. I don't know. Then
It-
saying I was like, oh,
it doesn't make any sense initially because like there's DNA evidence. They haven't found a body. They don't have the motive is really weird also because her quote unquote motive that makes her look guilty is that her husband had a life insurance policy. And like, if you know true crime, you do know there's a lot of life insurance policy murders for sure. But what's weird is that later on, we find out that one of the reasons her husband faked his death was so that he could cash in on his life insurance policy.
how would he do that though?
Exactly, because at some point, if it's in her name, life insurance policies work that like the person that is the beneficiary is the only one that can access it. So if
But
it's
to
in her
me,
name,
I
how do you
thought
get it?
either she would get it or the kid gets it. And because they're the legal guardians of said kid, maybe they thought they could get it from the kid. Like it was
vague. It's really up in the air because like in the trial that lasts for 2 minutes, we're in court for 2 minutes, and she's
I need to talk about this trial. The lawyer asked her, "Did aliens murder your husband?" With such condescending, like, aura of her voice. No, I don't think aliens murdered my husband. You fucking idiot! Like, what?
Yeah, another thing, that prosecutor would have like literally ruined the case, had it dismissed for that line of questioning. Like, girl.
Do you think an alligator jumped up on the boat and stabbed your husband? Yup. More likely than me doing it because I didn't do it.
But like Ashley Judd is like, guys, like, you have to believe me, I didn't do it. It's like, if I was in trial for a murder that I know I did not commit, or at least I think I didn't commit, I would be like losing it. And Ashley Judd is up there just kind of like, guys, no, I really didn't do it. I didn't do it. Believe me.
She does some crying, and this is where I don't think she was at her Ashley Judd best. It was pretty bad. Oh no, honey. Like, that's not crying. No, you're not sad.
It was hard. It was a weird 2 minutes in that courtroom.
I don't think she acted crying very well. It was rough.
Okay, so then while we're on the topic of not understanding the justice system at all, she gets paroled 6 years. Only 6 years for murder? That's not, what the fuck is the sentencing? Like, I
think she had 6 more years, so it was like a 12-year sentence. I think it was like halfway through, because had she gotten caught, she'd she'd have to serve out the remaining years
Yes.
of her sentence.
Correct.
But it's still like good behavior and like it's stuff. I don't know. I wanted to see more of her in prison, like getting buff, talking to other criminals about maybe like how, hey, you're a criminal. I know you know the law very well. Tell me some law stuff.
Exactly. I think there's, first of all, the idea of getting paroled only 6 years is insane. Yes, good behavior does reduce your time served, but like 6 years, that's not, come on.
I also think this jail scene, either she goes to jail, just cut the jail stuff and skip ahead to when she's released.
Okay.
Like 8 to 10 years, like make her serve that whole time.
Yeah.
Not get out early. Maybe she gets out like a couple months early because she's been doing good time, but she serves like a long time. That way when she gets out, we're like, fucking kill that, find that guy.
Yeah. Like if we did like a decade, that'd be like, oh yeah, shit.
Just skip it, because skip the scene, especially skip the scene where prison friend is like, double jeopardy means this. So while we're talking about that, I hate the title Double Jeopardy. Does it sound good as a title? Sure. Does it give away kind of what, if you know what it means? Yeah, I can expect that the husband is going to die by the end of this movie. Also, on the poster for this movie, it says, murder isn't always a crime.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It literally always is.
It just wants to, like, it's really trying to tell you, like, watch Ashley Judd track her husband down and kill him.
Yeah, truly. Yeah. Because, like, no, honey, like, there's different degrees of murder. The second time around, there will be proof that you intentionally murdered him. Like, you planned it. We see, like, so in the real world, she would go back to jail.
She might also get fucked over for killing not husband, but this new alias.
Yeah, right. So there's a lot of like loopholes in like how this could work out, actually. And it's really hard nowadays with so many like true crime stories and podcasts and true crime YouTubers, all the access to true crime that we have. It's really hard to look past this and have a suspension of disbelief and be like, okay, yeah, she could do it, because it's like she can't.
Let's talk about the husband's character.
Okay, let's do that, because I have
right
thoughts.
off the bat, this murder scheme of like setting up your wife seems incredibly unnecessary. If you want to bang her best friend, either have the affair and shut up and just be a cheating scumbag, or divorce, or hey honey, I'm going to have this open relationship, want to, or should we call it quits? I don't understand why he thought it was a great idea to do this elaborate fake murder scheme. It's so dumb.
Yeah, and they try to explain it away for like 2 sentences towards the end, where he's like, I lost all our money, I needed a life insurance policy. But again, if you think about it, that doesn't make any sense. So like, that's not enough to be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I see why he did this. Like, the whole time I'm like, why didn't he just like divorce her, dude? Like, this is way too much work. Like,
or
way too
he
much
didn't even need a divorce. He could just skip town.
Yeah, peace out on her, like something. Like, it just was like, this is a lot of work for very little payoff, dude. Like, what are you doing?
And to fuck her over so harshly.
So bad. Like, what'd she do to you, bro? Like,
and just try and like sell drugs or rob a bank. Do another crime that doesn't affect this woman who's the mother of your child.
Yeah. So like, also the thing is too, is like, we kind of learn towards the end when she finds him that he's like conning a lot of women, and like really like he's a smooth con artist, which I like the idea that like he is not who you think he is, and he's really like able to fuck people over. But at the same time, it was like, okay, but like, how long were y'all married? Because it's never established how long were they married before all this happened. How long were they together? We have to guess a few years.
I assume as old as the kid is, minimum.
Right, because yeah, like, so
they've definitely been together that long, because they're both the parents.
Right. So it's like, how long was he playing a role with you that you didn't see? If it was like, maybe if like they were like freshly married and it was like, oh my God, I let this guy like get into my head, sure. But it's like, well, how long were they married though?
So he has the affair.
Mm-hmm.
They run off with the kid. They disappear. At one of Ashley Judd's breadcrumbs is finding out where they live, and it's someone else that's new. That's not them. She goes and talks to the neighbor who's got all the hot gossip. Um, Turns out our old best friend, ex-lover cheater person, blew up in a mysterious fire. And I thought, holy shit, why did you run away with this woman if you were just going to kill her? What the fuck?
Yeah, I was really surprised that the friend ended up being murdered by him or died under mysterious circumstances.
I thought Ashley Judd was going to get some vengeance on her. Nope, doesn't get
Yeah.
that.
But the reveal sucks too, because it's just like some old lady who lived next door and is gardening, and she's like, "Yeah, you know, this poor thing died in a house fire. The gas was on. Oh, no.
I've got all the information."
Yeah, so like that's kind of a lame reveal for like a pretty cool twist. But then at the same time, I was also like, "Well, girl, like he set your best friend up for his murder. Like, honey,
Yeah,
like,
you knew.
why'd you
he
trust
was
this
dangerous.
man? Yeah, like why you?
Well, he loves me and not his wife.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's not
Oh,
how
honey.
it works. That's
Oh,
not how
honey.
it works. So like, I like the idea of this like scumbag who's like doing all sorts of cons and crimes to get what he wants and using his like charm and looks to play women, but it's to a degree that is like absurd, and I can't get behind.
Do a con an easier way. There's so
Yeah.
much easier cons.
Especially in the 90s. It turns out you could do a lot of cons and just keep getting away with it.
You could easily do identity theft, which was proven multiple times in this movie.
Multiple times, and you could get so much money from that. Like, bro, you're doing wrong crimes. Like, this is not the way, sir. So weird stuff happening. And yeah, it sucks that at the end, like we have all this buildup of her getting her kid and getting revenge and getting what's due to her, and it ends up being like Tommy Lee Jones who takes him out. And it's like, well, that's lame, I guess. Cool, she gets her kid back.
He doesn't take him out, but he's definitely a huge help in doing
he's a huge
it.
factor. Yeah.
I like the idea of Tommy Lee Jones like tricking him into like, hey, I'm also on your side because I want to bring her in.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure, have
let's
him
work together.
Help out. Yeah.
I like him tricking him like that,
Mm-hmm.
but he shouldn't be the one that's like putting a stop to husband.
So can we get into the Tommy Lee Jones of it all?
Let's talk about Tommy Lee Jones.
So I personally don't have any strong feelings towards Tommy Lee Jones either way. I could take him, I could leave him.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I think
I have a strong opinion about the role he plays.
Oh, me too.
Okay, so he's a parole officer that runs a halfway house. I think that's what's established. And he runs it a tight ship. You know, hey, you get one chance, and if you mess up, you go back to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I like someone that's following the rules. Then Ashley Judd does not follow the rules, and she gets caught breaking in to get information about her friend's name, and he cuffs her, gets on her boat. She escapes from him. Now it is his mission to track her down, and I don't understand why it's his job to bring her back or in at all, because he should just be running that house. Because who's watching over all the other women that are in the halfway house?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
also, he's made to be out to be like the bad guy because he's disciplining convicts, which is like, no. That's not like parole. You have to follow rules or you get sent back to prison.
I wish he was on board faster with the fact that, like, I think she's telling the truth. I still, again, but that's the same character. It's a copy paste of The Fugitive. I have to bring you in. That's the job. I may believe you, but I have to bring you in.
So yeah, I like that idea. Like, I'm on your side, but I need to get to the bottom of this. Mm-hmm. But like, it just doesn't make any sense as to why the dude running the halfway house would be involved so much. Because at one point they're like you let her get away, like you're in trouble, you might lose your job if we can't find her. And it's like, then he makes it his mission to find her, which is like, do you really want that halfway house job that badly? Like, dude, because he's following her all over the country, getting into all sorts of like issues and things. It's like, for this job?
She fucks up at least 2 of his cars.
Two of his cars, there's some violence. He almost dies. Like,
we learn he also has like a law degree. He used to be a lawyer or teach law, like a professor.
Yeah.
And man, what are you doing with your life, dude?
It's super weird. Like, there's not enough about him that makes sense to me. I think like I would tweak it so that he is like maybe a bounty hunter or a private investigator, like someone who it makes sense as to why he like needs to follow her. It doesn't make any sense to me as to why like he runs the halfway house, and because a convicted woman violated her parole, like he's in so much trouble and gonna lose his job, so he's got to find her. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's not great.
It doesn't all suck. It's
there's some cool moments, and there's some cool like, oh, that's fun, but like overall there's the logic is gone. And again, like having the knowledge we have now about crimes, it's like, this doesn't make any sense.
All right, Jessica, I've got a little fun game for you.
A game? Okay.
It's a game we're pretty familiar with. Hopefully it becomes, we do it more often. But what's Megan talking about?
I love this game. I love this game.
Yeah, because the wife has to sit through so many movies with me. She talks to the movies, which I love hearing her comments.
I do too.
Let's see if you can guess what's Megan talking about.
All right, I'm ready.
This was also her first time watching this.
Okay, so probably had a lot of same thoughts.
But yeah, she knew exactly how the movie was going in. I didn't tell her. She just inferred from what was happening.
Pretty easy to get there, yeah.
Okay. Wow, what a scumbag.
Definitely the husband.
Okay.
Is it, oh man, like, is it at the party scene, like at the very like opening scene? Okay, because he comes off as a scumbag right away.
It is not. I think I'll just give you one guess each for these.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
It's when she found out the husband murdered his lover.
I mean, he's all sorts of scumbag. That's real
like,
scumbag.
Like, what was the point of
Why'd you do that, bro?
I thought you like were into her.
Yeah.
Oh well.
What a weirdo.
It's only been 30 minutes and she's already getting out of jail. Is she going to track down the husband for the rest of it? That's wicked boring.
It's got to be when she's getting paroled, when she's just let go. It is.
I mean, that was
30 minutes in.
That was pretty on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very like, oh, okay, this is happening very fast.
She's awful.
Is it the best friend when Ashley Judd calls her and she's like, I don't know, we were gonna come visit you?
No, it's a moment. It's an Ashley Judd performance moment.
Is it the courtroom scene?
It's the courtroom scene. Her fake sobbing. Oh, she's awful.
It does jump from like, guys, I didn't murder him, to like, like, okay.
I like Ashley Judd when she's like strong from prison.
Yeah.
I believe this is good Ashley Judd. The beforehand, not good Ashley Judd.
Yeah, when she's like, hey, I'm coming, I'm like, yes, girl. But when she's crying, I'm like,
Okay, here we go. I don't like what they're doing. It fucks up my eyes.
Is it their weird sex scene on the boat?
No. But time-wise, you're pretty close to this moment. I did omit some things. I'll say the full sentence.
Okay.
I don't like what they're doing with the letters. It fucks my eyes up.
With the letters? I don't know.
Opening credits.
The opening credits were wild and went on forever.
I hated it. It was like the letters just started like separating from each other and being like 4 of the same letters at the same time. I was like, oh my God. Like she was said it out loud. I was like, I'm getting a headache. This is
Yeah, it was really weird. And then I also noticed like for the entire opening scene, it's still going. Like it's on the bottom, it's going. It's still going.
It's whoever's editing that movie like, dude, I could do this with the credits. Check this out.
Do the Jeopardy. But their boat sex scene is super weird, right? I was very uncomfortable. I even made a note about it that like, this is a weird sex scene.
Oh, I made a comment. This is the movie my parents bought 6 copies of. It seems like they would have been like, oh no, put this, don't let the children see this.
Threw Joe Dirt in the trash, but we're fine with double Jeopardy 6 times.
Sex times. Ooh, girl, that was real dumb.
Oh no, it's so many things again.
Oh girl, that was real dumb.
Is it the cemetery scene?
It is when Ashley Judd drives a boat off the ferry while semi being handcuffed to it.
Yeah, she goes there.
Yikes, yeah. Okay, when did this moment happen?
Okay.
She probably blew that guy.
Oh my God. Is it Tommy Lee Jones talking to the DMV worker being like, I know you used to be a prostitute?
No. This was when afterwards she was like hitchhiking. I think her first escape from Tommy Lee Jones. She just steps out of an 18-wheeler truck.
I missed that.
And yeah, she was hitchhiking, and this was a trick question. Mega didn't say that. I said that. It's the rule of the road. If you're getting if you're hitchhiking in 18-wheelers, you have to give them head. It's a rule.
The rule of the road is do not hitchhike anymore.
That's true.
Do not.
Yeah.
It's dangerous as hell. Also, okay. Speaking of being on the road, because she's on the road quite a bit, that scene with her mom was really strange.
Yeah. Here's a character we haven't established yet.
Nope.
Thanks, Mom, for the buried money under the tomatoes. Bye.
It was really weird because like there's a voiceover where this old woman is digging and she's like, your dad's over at the VFW. And it's like, okay.
Why wouldn't police immediately go to her parents' house to stake out?
And the mom kind of looked to be roughly around Ashley Judd's age too. So it was like, yeah. What? Am I wrong? Is this wrong? And then she like, yeah, gets a tin and hands it to her. It's a bunch of cash and is like, I said there was always money in the tomato garden. Like, okay. And then we never see the mom again.
This is the loudest she laughed during this movie. When do you think it happened?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is it God, again, it could be anything. I'm guessing it was like an ironic sort of laugh. Not like a Tommy Lee Jones is hilarious.
This was not a joke in the movie. She just laughed because of what whatever happened on screen tickled her funny bone.
Is it Ashley Judd crying in court?
It was not. That was that was just sad and disappointing. It was when Ashley Judd shoots the husband. It's so like so stupid. We saw this coming. It's done really lame.
It's so lame. It's like all of this for that? What?
Yeah. Okay.
This movie stresses me out.
I have my last. What is Megan talking about?
Okay.
Someone told me that Harry Potter is supposed to take place between 1991 and 1998, which is ridiculous because not once in the 7 books does a single character say, man, the Chicago Bulls are having a hell of a run, huh? When do you think Megan was saying that?
Okay, first of all, as a Chicagoan in the 90s, thank you, Megan, because that is very right. The Bulls were talked about constantly. Oh my God.
I can tell you right now, while they were in New Orleans, she was kind of checking out and just scrolling through that phone and found a funny meme. And while Tommy Lee Jones is talking, I think it's when he's like talking to his guy about getting fired or trying to like identify, locate, get an ID to verify that this new name matches his face. She's reading memes. Would you like me to pause it so we can hear this pertinent information to him solving this case? Oh, let's hear this meme. But to be fair, that is a hell of a meme. That is such a fun tweeter meme, whatever it was. Would you give this movie a second chance?
No, it breaks your brain. It breaks your brain. Do not. I would say not worth it. There is a much, much better, much more plausible thriller in the 90s starring Ashley Judd called Kiss the Girls. It's incredible. She's tough and strong and vulnerable in that. And it's just a much higher quality story and movie. I'd say watch that instead. Do not watch this movie because it will hurt. Like, it will give you headaches thinking about the logic and loopholes. No, avoid it.
So I'm glad I gave it a second chance and just watched it as an adult. Now that I have like memory I can retain better. Oh man, I do not advise anyone to give this a second chance and watch it. It's a pretty lame thriller. It's especially for thrillers, man. With thrillers and like stuff that does with like crime, you got to be on point with the law, especially if we're in the world of reality. If this was like wizards or like space, we can create our own laws there. And we'll have our loopholes and I can believe and get on board. But it's set in reality where there are actual laws and consequences to everything you've done. Ashley Judd has broken so many laws.
So many laws.
And just because you were framed for one doesn't mean you could do whatever you want afterwards.
No.
And God, the title is just irritating me. Because when I heard that title and I heard double jeopardy means you can't be tried for the same crime twice. Oh, the crime of she murdered her husband. Oh, but she didn't. No, so she can now. Yeah. Well, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Also, very obvious in the first like 2 scenes where this is going.
Yeah. Damn, does this movie just remind me of the 90s? And
yeah, I do love 90s thrillers. I really do. They really get me. And again, Kiss the Girls is an excellent 90s thriller. 90s were so good at thrillers.
Double Jeopardy belongs in the 90s and should stay in the
90s. I agree. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Second Chance Movies. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. We also have episodes on YouTube. A big thank you to Beaty McBeatface for making our dope theme song that we love so much.
Second Chance Movies.
If you like what you're hearing, please comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Do you love Double Jeopardy? How do you feel about Ashley Judd? Is Tommy Lee Jones hilarious to you? Let us know. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts. What are some movies that maybe your parents bought multiple DVDs of on accident? What movies did your parents possibly throw in the trash? I want to know all these things.
I want to know, what are movies your parents loved that you thought, what do you see in this?
Oh man, well, thank you for hanging in there for this movie, and we'll be back next Sunday with another Second Chance movie.
Second Chance.